Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Jags 6 out of 10 on third. Mack drops, fires, middle of the field, caught. Brian Thomas Jr. inside the 10, inside the 5, toward the goal line. Touchdown! Mac Jones to Brian Thomas Jr. and the Jags have retaken the lead. Dropping is Rodgers. Looking. Time, too much time. Fires deep down the middle of the field. That's Davante Adams. Make the catch. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Stays on his feet. Touchdown. They hand it to Hall. He walked into the end zone. The Jags didn't offer much resistance. That's the right play. You got to let him score there. So you get the ball back he scores with 1:05 to play. Max looking. Fires deep downfield, and that was a miscommunication and an interception. Oh my goodness, you needed a half yard. Mack threw it down the left sideline. There was nobody there. Sauce Gardner backpedaled and just caught the ball that came right to him.
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, David Garrard, and Dylan Denmark.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome into another week here on Jaguars Today. No Victory Monday this time around unless you were rooting for an improved draft position. Mm-hmm. And congratulations to you.
Or a no more ruined draft position.
Correct.
Didn't get worse.
It didn't get worse, although it did improve, basically, from where they were supposed to be. I mean, look, if I've done this right, if somehow the Raiders beat the Jags, which I have a hard time coming up with that scenario.
At halftime of that game yesterday, I was like, these guys are going to win the last 5 games of the year. Like,
right. But if the Raiders were to beat the Jags and New England and the Giants both win this week, I have no idea who they're even playing, right? The Jags would be right back at the top of the draft that quickly after tumbling down to like 8. So, you never know, which is why you shouldn't get too worked up about it with 5 weeks to go in the season. But the competitive yesterday, a tale of two halves, certainly with the defense, Dave. We were talking before we came on. If the Jets don't successfully convert the fake punt, where Aaron Rodgers then completes 2 passes to Garrett Wilson, including the touchdown. If they don't get that extension of that drive, he completed 1 ball in the entire first half, and it was to a running back. And then, much like last week, when we decided, hey, let's throw the ball to our best guy, and they have 2 good guys on the outside, but then they peppered Davante Adams with targets, and we couldn't deal with it in the second half.
Yeah, I honestly forgot that he was on their team for a second there because they weren't really getting him the ball. And then you saw a couple get thrown his way, and he wasn't making those plays. And I started thinking, man, he's just getting old. He's getting old right in our face. And then all of a sudden he went to halftime and found the fountain of youth. I guess he drove down to St. Augustine. But
that one on the sideline, it's like, oh, that's why he's a Hall of Famer.
That was the most impressive one of the day for me out of all the plays in the NFL. I mean, there were some good ones, but that one, y'all, the degree of difficulty on that play just to get the catch, but then also to get the toes down. I mean, that was super impressive. But, yeah, for some reason, he was just open and on fire in the second half. And I couldn't believe the way he just turned it around. Him and Aaron Rodgers turned it around in the second half.
So on that play where he drags the toe, right? Were you watching at home? Did you go?
Yeah, I was at home.
Okay. Did they was it clear on the TV replay that because it was clear to me.
Yeah.
But we don't have the exact TV replay. We have something that's similar to it, but we don't always get the same shots. And obviously, if you're in the stands, what they're showing on the scoreboard may be an entirely different thing. Because somebody called in the postgame was like, "Oh, we knew that was a bad call." The whole place was booing, and I'm like, I don't know what you saw because he had 1 foot firmly planted. The other one, you could see the little pellets kicking up as he dragged the toe.
I was watching the scoreboard feed, and when the play happened, I was like, oh, man, that's close. Mm-hmm. Crazy catch, but, man, that's close. And then they replayed it the one time. I was like, yeah, it's foot's in.
Yeah, it's clearly it.
Yeah.
It was clearly it.
On TV, they slowed it down, and I could pause it and watch it. So as soon as the ball hits his hand, his foot is on the ground, and the ball is firmly caught when it hits his hand.
Right, and if you watch it all the way, he rolls to the ground, and the ball never moves.
Never moved, yeah.
It's just a great play by a guy who's been a great player.
Yeah, 100 touchdowns or something
100 touchdowns, 80 of them from the guy who he caught it from yesterday twice.
Amazing.
And Loggeman on the broadcast was dead on it when the Jets had the ball on the 1 yard line.
I knew that was coming.
Right, and Davante almost scored. Aaron Rodgers, I think 1 year threw 8 touchdown passes from the 1 yard line. 8, because he's a stat patter in that regard. Like, that can't be the highest degree of likelihood completion, I wouldn't think, anyway. I mean, obviously he's been successful at it, but that overlooks all the times he's thrown incomplete on first and goal from the 1 or second and goal from the 1.
He is the most talented one at throwing that ball. And then when you've got somebody like that receiver over there that just knows how to go up and get it and is a basketball player, like that is, for them, pretty high percentage.
Yeah, that was a beautiful throw, too, on that one. But
I knew it was coming.
Yeah, I think a lot of people expected it, right? But
spent a whole career with they knew it was coming.
And it's especially when it's to Devontae Adams, who originally was credited with the touchdown, then had it taken off, and you're like, well, we want to get that guy the score here.
Absolutely.
That's how it goes sometimes. So, Dylan Denmark, good morning. How are you?
I'm just chilling, man.
Yeah? Just hanging out?
Yeah, I played some bad golf Saturday and watched the games.
I'm sorry. I played some bad fantasy football in the Breakfast Bowl. So
yeah, you did. I appreciate that.
I scored more points with Puka last week than I did with my whole team this week. So, but at least the pressure was off going into Sunday. Like, I was like, nothing happening here. Even after a quick flurry of touchdowns.
Yeah, I was wondering why you texted me.
Well, Pollard and Andrews scored back-to-back, and I'm like, I might as well pay attention here and see what happens.
Just never woke up.
Did I hear we get a name change from the other room over there?
Well, he feels like, I think he's grown out of pockets, and I respect that, right?
He is much more mature.
He's a mature, nowadays, right? He's gotten much more mature over the course of the season.
Got a little mustache.
Does he?
I just trimmed it last night.
All right. So, yes, Coach Denmark is acceptable. There are a lot of things that you can go with here. I don't know why you're laughing at that. He's literally a coach, and his last name is Denmark. Like, why is that one at all confusing? Coach Denmark, if you'd be so kind, Mac Jones on what he saw on the final interception. This is cut 1 from his post-game press conference.
I'm going to have to watch the film.
Yeah.
It's definitely an in-the-game play. At that point, I think we had like 44 seconds, and we were on the plus 50, so usually it's a second a yard. So you kind of got to get a chunk play, if that makes sense. Yeah. And Sauce kind of baited me into it, I guess. That's what I saw, and he peeled back on it and made a good play. So definitely going to watch the film and see what I can do different.
I'll say this. Mac Jones gets up and takes the blame for everything.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know. I honestly don't know, Dave. You tell me as a quarterback when he says Sauce baited him into it. I can't tell. I don't know what the route's supposed to be for Parker Washington. Did he cut it off too soon? Was it just one of those that if you've repped it 1,000 times, then maybe you'll have a feel for what each other are seeing in that moment? Did you immediately feel like, oh, bad throw, or was that possibly a miscommunication on the route?
Yeah, sometimes you have miscommunication because you have a look that tells you to run one thing, and then all of a sudden in that look, he actually bails out or does something to make him adjust the route. And so if the receiver sees it as a bail, then he's going to set his route down. But the quarterback might have peeked, didn't see the guy bail, still think he's pressing or something, and he's running deep, and so he launches the ball.
Well, he, took it on himself, right? And he's
that's the bait,
right? Exactly. Like, and he gave credit to Sauce Gardner. You'll look at the box score and you're like, Sauce with an interception. Yeah, Sauce is. I didn't see Sauce making plays out there yesterday. I didn't see anybody making
plays. He was tackling.
Right. I didn't see anybody making plays against Brian Thomas Jr. For most of the day. And while they weren't explosive, Brenton Strange caught 11 of 12 targets yesterday.
You guys, he looked like a man out there. Every time he got the ball in his hand, I just kept thinking he's going to get like 5 or 6 more yards every time he catches it, even with guys hitting him as he's catching the ball and then turning up, having another guy hit him, still, kind of shucking him to the side and gathering and getting more yards every time. Like, he proved to me yesterday that he should get the ball more in his hands because he's angry when he runs and after he catches it.
By the way, all this is great, and we will highlight some good things that the team did because they did some good things, but they also gave up 25 points in the second half, and I get it. At the late stage of the game, I agree with Frank's call. You got to let Breece Hall score. In fact, we're debating sitting there, if you're the Jets, you take a knee on the first and second down, make the Jags burn their 2 timeouts, then burn the entire play clock down, run it again, and If I'm doing the math
run
right.
the time down.
Basically, you could have gotten it down to probably giving it back to the Jags with 15 seconds.
Yeah.
But ensuring yourself only of a short field goal chance. Now, their kicker missed one earlier, so maybe that's in.
I mean, you're at the half-inch line.
I understand. I'm just trying to think. In today's NFL,
yeah.
nobody wants to leave anybody with any time at the end of the game because
Yeah.
we've seen it happen too often. One big play gets you in position. You get one penalty on top of that. All of a sudden, you're kicking a long field goal to try to send this thing to overtime.
And I'm sure they felt good about themselves defensively, stopping the Jags from going all the way down the field and scoring. So I'm sure that played into it. They were like, hey, let's just get this win, get the points, and we'll just stop them. We know we are. We'll let Mac throw the ball to us.
Ultimately, I think I would have taken the touchdown there, too, because you couldn't run out the entirety of the clock in the game in that circumstance. And, look, kicks get blocked occasionally, right? So why, count on something that's not 100% guarantee when you can take the 7 at that point in time, or at least the 6.
Yeah, but it would have made sense to make them burn the timeouts and then run a play on third down, and whatever happens on the play. If we score a touchdown on the run, the handoff from the 2 that we're going to have in that situation, then we do. If we don't, we're going to run off the 40 seconds and kick a field goal with no time on the clock, but we're going to do it where we're giving you the ball back with no timeouts.
Oh, I agree. That's what we just laid out.
Yeah. Right.
But the thing, you could miss the field goal or have it blocked.
Sure.
I mean, it's possible. And again, you're putting the ball in the other team's hands. What if they return the kickoff for a touchdown?
Right.
You lose the game. I mean, it happens on occasion. I'm not saying it's likely.
Yes.
So either way, they can debate that. Did we do it the right way? They won the football game, and the Jags were put in a kind of
the right way is the winning way.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
They won, so it worked out okay for them. It doesn't mean every step along the way was perfect. So today, as always, is a reaction Monday. Like to hear your thoughts on the Jags' latest performance. I've seen a lot of it on social media already. There's some anger, which I like because people are still passionate enough to care about results of a team that has been eliminated from playoff contention. And so we've seen that side of it. We've also seen, hey, you know what? Climbed back up the draft board, and it was an entertaining game. So
it was.
For some people, they got everything they wanted, right?
Yeah.
The Jags scored in every quarter, which is rare for this team, and they had a really good first-half defensive performance, but
I've turned into that fan. I've turned into that fan that is, give me an exciting game, get the ball to BTJ, thank you, finally, and make it look good. If we just happen to win at the end, great. But if we also just happen to lose, I'm okay with that too because it helps us in the draft.
Yeah, BTJ 14 targets yesterday, and he should be in double figures in terms of targets every game the remainder of this season. And most games throughout the next several years of his career, that should be the case here in Jacksonville, especially as much as they throw the ball in today's NFL.
Yep.
So Aaron Rodgers, by the way, only threw it 30 times yesterday. Mac Jones threw for 5 more yards, but needed 16 more attempts to get there. Of course, he's got 2 very dangerous weapons on the outside. Parker Washington's a nice player. I don't think he's as good as Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson didn't have this massive performance. I mean, without the touchdown, they're almost statistically identical. But I do feel like he puts a little bit more pressure on defenses at this stage of their respective careers. So if you want to get in today, 641-1010 on the Garber Auto Mall phone lines, or same number for the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. You can hit us up in the YouTube virtual studio chat. You can hit us up on social media at MD_1010XL, at 1010XL Fat Tony, at David Garrard _9 on Instagram, and at 1010XL Denmark.
Ain't no laws when you're drinking claws, baby.
That's Coach Denmark to you. So let's talk about it. We'll hear from some of the participants in yesterday's 11th loss of the season for the Jacksonville Jaguars and take your reactions as well throughout the course of the next 2 hours. Jags fall to the Jets 32-25. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. The weekly pick'em contest.
Is this what I think it is?
Make the best picks and win a pizza party from Salvatore's Pizza at Tapestry Park. Pick the worst. You'll still win some pizza, just not enough for a party. Flip a coin. Make your picks at 1010XL.com.
Googan Nation, it's Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here to tell you this is no dream. The folks at Dreamfinders Homes right now have an unbeatable interest rate for you. You may not think you can afford a Dreamfinders home. Well, think again. Take advantage of a 2.99% year one rate. I said it, 2.99%. 15 Jacksonville communities to choose from. Find that dream house and take advantage of an unbeatable rate. Move now, literally. Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Now, the Randy Marion Cadillac Drive of the Game. Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville. Drive to the game in luxury with Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville.
The Teal and Black looked to attack early versus the Jets, and Mac Jones, along with the Young Guns, answered the call to strike first in the ball game. Thanks to a 13-play series capped off by a Brian Thomas Jr. 3-yard score, Jacksonville would take an early 7-0 lead with 8:37 left in the first. The 70-yard drive is your Randy Marion Cadillac Drive of the Game.
Hey, John, I think everyone in Jacksonville is ready to elevate their ride.
Absolutely. At Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville, we have stunning 2024 Escalades and Lyrics in stock right now.
And the great news is you can get a $4,000 Escalade loyalty rebate.
Don't wait for the 2025 models to come in.
Luxury is just a visit away. Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
Not available with some other offers. Must take retail delivery by 10/31/24 plus tax tag title $8.99 admin fee and resistol on approved credit.
Tell them Jennifer sent ya.
This is the Mangler. Years of playing football coupled with lifestyle left my feet mangled with neuropathy. I was experiencing burning, tingling, and numbness. I spoke with 2 foot specialists and they told me there was no cure. They were wrong. I found Dr. Nate Riddle in Ponte Vedra. After utilizing his neuropathy treatment for only 2 weeks, I noticed a difference in my feet. I was regaining my feeling and balance. If you want relief from nerve pain, call Dr. Nate for a free consultation at Riddle Wellness, 904-395-5598.
Now that's what I call high-quality H2O. If you want high-quality water in your home at a fair price that won't scare you to death, then talk to someone who knows water and is not a pushy salesman. Contact your local water boy, Keith. I install premium equipment and can repair or even rebuild your existing system. In a business known for aggressive sales tactics, let me show you how my approach is different. If you've got any water problems, contact the water boy at waterboyjack.com.
Googan Nation, it's Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here to tell you this is no dream. The folks at Dreamfinders Homes right now have an unbeatable interest rate for you. You may not think you can afford a Dreamfinders home. Well, think again. Take advantage of a 2.99% year one rate. I said it, 2.99%. 15 Jacksonville communities to choose from. Find that dream house and take advantage of an unbeatable rate. Move now, literally. Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Mia here. Since 1982, Closets by Design has specialized in creating dream spaces for every budget. My designer, Frances, made the process so easy. She came to my house and designed a walk-in closet that's not only beautiful, but incredibly functional for me and Bo Valentine. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation at 800-293-3744 or visit closetsbydesign.com. And be sure to check out their end-of-year sale, including 18-month special financing. Closets by Design.
This is Chelsea with Renewal by Andersen Custom Windows and Doors. Here's what people are saying about working with us.
Installers were professional, courteous, and efficient.
Great customer service. On time, explained the process, and walked me through the installation. Amazing team.
Our experience with Renewal by Andersen was outstanding from the beginning to end.
Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit rbafla.com.
License number CGC 1527613.
Renewal by Andersen, Custom Windows and Doors.
Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, congratulating our Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Casey Stahl, senior basketball player at Sandalwood High. Casey has received the Presidential Volunteer Gold Service Award from President Biden and is a member of the National Honor Society.
Hicken here for Bow 9 Associates, where you'll find Jacksonville's most esteemed eye doctors at each of their locations. After being selected for one of the most competitive ophthalmology fellowships in the world, Dr. Frank Bowden is frequently called upon for his expert opinion. He is currently one of the few cornea and external disease specialists in the area and the founder of Bow 9. Visit Bow 9 Associates today and experience the difference. Bow 9 Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
Hey, Florida drivers, the holiday season is upon us. When celebrating, always plan ahead and know all your options. If you drink, don't get behind the wheel. Instead, designate a sober driver or catch a ride service. And if you are the designated sober driver, commit to staying sober. Besides, a DUI could cost you $10,000. Not exactly the best gift you could give yourself. Celebrate responsibly and remember to drive sober or get pulled over. This message brought to you by the Florida Department of Transportation.
Have you or someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI and all criminal offenses. I've been named the best DUI attorney in the state, and David has been named the best criminal defense lawyer in Jacksonville. In your battle with the justice system, there is only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645.
Local 234 plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians would like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and thank you to all the members and contractors for their continued support and partnership. Together, they've helped build a stronger foundation for Jacksonville since 1901. Enjoy spending time with your friends and families this holiday season. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Local 234, make the right connection. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. He's our QB. It's a David Garrard Monday on 1010XL. Brought to you by WaterboyJax.com.
All right, Reaction Monday. Jags fall 32-25. What did you get out of the game, good or bad? What is your reaction to it? That's what we look for every single Monday. Angry Elf, at least that's what somebody named him on our text line. Because, if you get a name, you probably live up to it, is my guess. Let's see. Time to clean house of sports radio.
Good one.
This format has run aground. Okay. So is it the format or is it the people there? Because the format is probably not going to change.
No one's forcing you to listen to the free show.
No.
Do whatever you want to with your time.
Right. It's me. I'll take the blame for it.
It's probably DG.
I can be better.
I'm guessing. That's a nice hat, though,
Thank
by
you.
the way. What is that? What material that's made out of? That feels...
What is it? Like corduroy?
Yeah, it looks like...
What is that? Velvet?
Velveteen. It looks nice, though, on you. It went well with your Fletcher... pullover there too.
I got a little warm.
I got you. All right, let's get out to it. 641-1010 if you would like to participate in the conversation today. We'll start with Philip in Arlington this morning here on Jaguars Today on the Garber Automall phone lines. What's up, Philip?
Top of the morning, boys. After yesterday's game, I realized this entire season, from the Miami game, for us average Joe Schmo Jaguar fans, there has not been one moment of enjoyment this entire season. The Buffalo game was embarrassment. We get flexed out of another Sunday night game. Okay, my question is, there's a certain personality that comes on here is convinced Trent Baalke has got Shad Khan's ear, and he's going to tell Shad, I'm the one that can fix this. But if they don't get rid of Baalke and everybody else, fans like me are going to lose interest. I want your comments on that. And I have a quick question. The player on the other team, please tell me Sauce is his nickname. Please tell me people didn't have a baby and named it Sauce.
What do you think, Philip?
I don't know, man.
Use your critical thinking skills there. Yes. So why are you upset that the guy's – who cares if his name's Sauce? For goodness sakes.
Yeah.
All right. But to your first point, I would assume that's exactly what Trent Baalke. What if you're in Trent Baalke's position?
I'm trying to keep my job.
What would you say?
Yeah,
I'm the guy to fix this, right? So
Trust me, I can fix it.
Whether Shad Khan believes that or not, I can't speak for Shad Khan. I don't know how Shad Khan's going to feel about that. You can look to yesterday. I don't know what the attendance was. It didn't look very full. On the broadcast that I saw,
it was
right?
Sparse.
So, will fans speak with their wallet, so to speak? If that happens, perhaps they will. And if you want me to speak, I'm not going to encourage you to do that or discourage you to do that. Fan the way you want to fan. It's up to you. That is one of the few ways you can express your pleasure or displeasure with the team is spending money on the team. Right. And by the way, there are plenty of fans out there that consider themselves fans that don't spend a dime on the team. And I'm okay with that, too. Right. If you just are a TV watching fan and I hope they win and, If they do, it's going to put a little pep in my step on Monday. And if they don't, it's not going to ruin my life. That's you do you on whatever level you want to. But yeah, I imagine. I don't know, Tone. The ones that get me, like I can understand. I'm not coming back until you make a change. But the ones that get me are if he doesn't make a change, that's it. I'm done. I'm no longer a Jags fan. I'm hearing that more and more. Okay.
I don't believe you. But
I don't either. Yeah. I don't. I mean. Or don't use Duval till we die.
Yeah. Like, I get that there are a lot of fans that are very frustrated with the situation the team finds themselves in. And I guess that when they say those kind of things, I'm like, they're speaking out of their anger, which is okay. Like, yeah. I understand it. Like, I've said stupid things when I was angry, too, that I didn't mean. Like, that kind of thing happens from time to time. But, we've been doing this show every day, Monday through Friday now for a decade, and this is only the fourth cycle of on this show we've been willing to say, yeah, fire Balky today.
And when you mean by cycle, you mean like year.
Right. Like it's every year when this thing comes up, we say the same thing. Like I'm fine with them not having hired him as the GM. I'm fine with every opportunity that opened that, they could fire him now. Cool. Like I've been on that side of that discussion every time. It's not a vote. Your vote, and then the owner says, like that's not how the process works. It's not like it's not discussed or talked about. I don't know how much of that the owner hears or doesn't hear. I don't have his phone number, right? Like I'm not texting him every day going, people are still mad that Balky's the GM. How are you going to respond to this? That's not how any of this works. He may get to a point where he says, I'm done. We're moving on past it, or he won't. And Balky will be the GM as long.
And then you, as a fan, have to decide what your reaction to that is. And then you're entitled to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Like, don't go. Don't tune out. Yeah. Whatever.
But the only way you vote is with your wallet. And if you're going to go to that step, I get it. I don't judge any fan for having done it or doing it. It's fine. People can do whatever they want to with their money. Doesn't bother me even a little bit.
Right. So, So in terms of us talking about what fans may or may not do, I can't control what fans may or may not do. I'm aware of that sentiment. I think we all are, Dave.
Yeah, I'm sure fans are at the point now where they're like, look, this is it for me, or it's it for me until, like they've been saying. But they're hoping that if they call in and make enough noise, something will happen from it, or at least Shad will hear it, and maybe he'll do something about it. But he also may not do anything about it. That's the thing when you own the team. You can do what you want, even when everybody else around you is saying, fire sale, fire sale, fire sale.
By the way, what were the Bigsbys doing naming their son Tank? How dare? It's a nickname? How dare he have a nickname?
Yeah.
My goodness.
I did very clearly have those vibes as I shared. At halftime yesterday, I was like, they're going to win the last 5 games. Nobody's going to get fired, and they're going to pick 18th.
Or maybe not 18th, but like 12th.
Right. It's going to be like nothing is happening the way I want it to happen. But, they lost the game. They found a way, to lose that game yesterday to the Jets. And as you said, it was a fun game to watch.
It was.
I'll give them that. And then they did what the Jags have done on defense all year.
They blew it.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get Jarrell in Columbia, South Carolina next on Jaguars Today. Good morning, Jarrell.
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
All right. What's up?
All right, so I just called to say, as far as me as a fan watching yesterday, I was very happy with the way things went. The game was entertaining. The young players came out and played well, and Mac Jones led us to the L, which basically is a W in the draft. So I was very happy with the way things went yesterday. That's all I had to say.
All right, appreciate it. I think a lot of people feel that way, and look, somebody called up yesterday like it was the last straw. How can we lose to this Jets team? Do you not realize how bad? I mean, did you just figure out how bad the Jags are? They're 3-10 going into that game for a reason.
Yeah, they'd be saying the same thing if the Jags had won.
They're ranked at the bottom of offensive and defensive stats. I mean, they've been bad all year. They've lost to worse teams, at least in my opinion. Like Cleveland early in the season was a worse team than this Jets team I saw yesterday. And so why are you surprised? I guess, I can't speak for everybody. Your breaking point is your breaking point, right? And I get it. Nobody wants to, on the one hand, you don't want to lose to that team, but on the other hand, you beat that team and let's say Mac Jones leads a miraculous touchdown drive. What does that mean? He's not your quarterback next year.
No.
I mean, that's not to say I don't want to see guys perform well because he's got to be throwing to guys that we will be counting on next year. And it was great to see Brian Thomas Jr. Respond when he got that level of targets. It was great to see Brenton Strange play well. Can't point to too many guys defensively that played well in this game. I mean, where was the pass rush?
I was thinking the same thing because there were times where he was sitting right in the middle of the pocket and everything was kind of collapsing around him, but he just squeezed out and ran for 10 or 15 yards. Right. And I'm like, guys, get off of these blocks and somebody make a play. Ledbetter made a play, and that was great, but we should have seen way more of that because Aaron wasn't trying to run. He didn't want to run. He wanted to stay in that pocket, but he was like, well, I got no other choice because they're kind of squeezing me in here. So let me just take off.
And the most rushing yards in a game, and what was the number they said I heard yesterday after the game? Was it 2019 or?
Yeah, it's something been a long time
ago. A number of years since he's run for 45 yards in a game. It
felt like we were watching kind of the 2021 Jags in that regard again, maybe 2022 as well, where I thought that Trayvon and Josh Hines-Allen were actually playing pretty well, right, in the game yesterday. But the thing we've been talking about all year long, the inside gets no push.
None.
Ever. And that's the thing that it felt like that was happening yesterday. And then there would be those inexplicable moments where they would start drives with Josh and Trayvon off the field. And I'm like, what are we doing? At this point, what are we doing? And then there would be 3 or 4 15-yard plays in a row. And I'm like, oh, my. Like, this is predictable. There's nobody else that can play on the edge for this football team, and y'all brought them both off the field at the same time. And your most effective interior rusher, you're playing at end, and they continue to do that. And at times yesterday, they actually played Armstead inside, and that's when they got their best rushes, was when Armstead was playing on the inside and had Josh and Trayvon on the outside. It's like, this is clear as day. The best thing you can do for the football team to have success rushing the passer, but they just don't stick to it.
I was watching it yesterday when Rodgers took off down the right side. He had Armstead was right there behind him, and Rodgers just pulled away from him, like really easy, and it looked like Armstead was almost laboring a little bit, and I'm like, how do we have this guy in there as one of our primary rush ends on this play, and then somebody else on the other side that's not Hines-Allen or not Walker, and this is what we're going in here with in this situation. Like, it looked really bad, and I just can't believe their coaches aren't able to see that and keep our better guys on the field more often.
All right, before we take a break here, we'll get back to your calls in a second on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Mike, unlike you, many of us have to buy tickets. First of all, you don't have to buy anything, okay? You really don't. And I recognize that, by the way. I don't know what you're hearing. So he says it starts to get a little frustrating when you spend good money. Try understanding.
Oh, my gosh.
I bought season tickets for years, and I couldn't give them away, so it wasn't even worth doing that to give them away. My wife would go to, like, 2 games, and I'm working the game, so I didn't need the tickets. I've supported this team with my money. And you can make that choice. I mean, I don't know what could be more clear than what we said. It's your choice. And we said that's one of the ways you can get the attention of the owner is how you choose to spend your disposable income. Nobody's making you do that, right? But it's the line of nobody's saying go to the game, buy this merch, but it's the line of I'm never a Jag fan again because I'm starting to hear that if they don't do X, if they don't do what I want, that's it. Well, that's not how fandom works. I mean, or it can be if you choose to be that person that is going to give up on your team because they're not making what you decide to be the right moves. That's your prerogative as well. I don't think that makes you Duval till we die, okay? That, to me, means that's your team, period, through thick and thin, through frustrations and anxieties and all these situations. And I understand the frustration. Who can't understand the frustration of being a Jags fan? So
I'm not sure what we're saying to make them think
I don't either.
Aren't as frustrated.
Exactly. Like, and I get when we tell the caller, I think it's perfectly reasonable if you choose to decide not to continue to buy tickets. What else can we say that makes you know that we understand your frustration? I mean, that's how you vote, basically. Is with your money. And that doesn't mean, again, that the problem, the owner and every owner in the National Football League makes enough money off the TV contracts that it doesn't matter that much. It's not moving the the line that much, in my opinion, if you lose 10,000 people a game. I mean, because the TV numbers are so absurd.
Yeah.
And the value of the franchises keep growing and growing and growing, and that's the nature of the business. You can decide whether you think that's fair, whether you want to support that. That's up to you. Mm-hmm. And we've never told you how to be a fan. I'm just saying, for the people who say, I'm no longer a fan, then this show's not for you anymore. This is for the people that do care about the Jags. As frustrated as you may be, as angry as you may be, as much as you may disagree with me or Tony or David about how to fix things, if you're a fan, this is your show, period. That's the way I look at it. All right, we'll come back and get more of your calls on the other side at 641-1010 on the Garber Auto Mall phone lines. You're listening to Jaguars Today on a Reaction Monday on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
Looking for a new vehicle? Take a look at Jenkins Hyundai of Jacksonville. Now's the time to save big. Choose from more than 250 new and over 1,000 used and certified pre-owned vehicles on the lot, or shop anytime at JenkinsHyundaiofJacksonville.com. Hyundai has one of the top warranties in the business. Lifetime, powertrain, and 5-year bumper-to-bumper warranty, plus 3 years free maintenance on a new vehicle. Give them the chance to earn your business today on Atlantic Boulevard or at JenkinsHyundaiofJacksonville.com.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. While we've earned the reputation as North Florida and South Georgia's preeminent official Rolex jeweler, it's important to point out that at Underwoods we carry other watches too. We start with Seiko, the most reliable, serviceable watch made for under $500. And they've started making jeweled, self-winding watches again, and sports watches you'd have to see to believe. Next, we have Tavan, the Swiss-made ladies and men's and dress and sport watches, and they start at $575. Another name we carry is Tudor, inspired by Rolex with the same founder and owner, the Hans Wilsdorf Foundation. And their sport watches and chronographs are the rage in Swiss timekeeping, with new in-house watch movements and exciting new model introductions every year. So if you're interested in watches, we have what you want at Underwoods, and all of our watches carry a 5-year warranty. At Underwoods, in San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra.
It's a Dreamfinders Homes Monday.
Official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Florida's weather is unpredictable. Don't let the Epic Chill catch you off guard. For reliable heating services, call Epic Cool Heating and Air. Keep your home cozy all season long. Call 904-859-EPIC, 904-859-3742.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
American Electrical, Northeast Florida's highest-rated electricians, is hiring, and they're training people for careers. It's not just job training. They're giving you a license that no one can take away from you, training you for jobs that are always in demand and will offer you a peace of mind financially and for the future. And once you know a trade, you'll always be employable. All the details are at American-Electrical.com. If you're selected to be part of the Electrical Academy, you'll learn the electrical trade absolutely free of charge. American Electrical, powered by professionalism, equal opportunity employer.
Our most popular meat combo is ready to grill this season. Pounds and pounds of marinated steak tips and chicken, fresh ground beef, and homemade sausage. Just ask for the sampler combo.
For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
Any action? Find more fish on the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show.
That's a big redfish, guys.
With Captain Kevin Faber.
Oh, my gosh.
Brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
Navy Mutual was created by service members for service members, so we know what it means to serve. Our policies have no active duty service restrictions, so you can rest assured that you're covered no matter your duty station, home or abroad. To go even further, we promise that premiums will not be higher for those who serve in dangerous environments, including aviation, diving, or on deployments. Let us help you protect those you love the most. Learn more at NavyMutual.org.
My name's Jim. I'm 53 years old. There should be options in life, like ways to lose weight. Medications now feel like the only option. I mean, it sounds like a guarantee. I do have friends who have lost weight with them. I tried holding off. I did other diets, but I was miserable. I'd rather be fat and happy. The problem was I wasn't happy fat. I was about to start the meds, but then I heard of Awaken 180's GLP-1 program. Turned out it does the same thing as the meds without injecting myself for life. It absolutely worked. I dropped 45 pounds. I'm now in maintenance, and I feel better than my friends who are still on the meds. Listen, I barely know what GLP-1 is. What I do know is Awaken 180 worked for me, and I was far from miserable doing it.
Thanks, Jim. You all know our success with Awaken 180, and now with Awaken 180's GLP-1 balance, you address the root causes of weight issues. Do it naturally, then keep it off. Awaken180weightloss.com. There are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Hick and here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about being a peacemaker. Friends, so often we can only want to help people who are in our inner circle. But God never had inner circles. The world was his inner circle, and he's depending on us to make a difference and to leave our mark in this life. So go out today receiving his peace and then sharing it with the world.
To hear more inspirational messages by Reverend Dr. Nicholas Lowe, please visit our website at stjohnthedivine.com.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
The Jags had a chance in the final minute on Sunday against the Jets to potentially tie the game and force overtime, but an interception thrown by Mac Jones ended the game.
Mac's looking, fires deep downfield, and that was a miscommunication and an interception. Oh my goodness, you needed a half yard. Mac threw it down the left sideline. There was nobody there. Sauce Gardner backpedaled and just caught the ball that came right to him. Oh my goodness.
Frank Frangie with the call on Jaguars Radio. 32-25, the final, Jets over the Jags. With your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update, I'm Andrew Gibson.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. He's our QB. It's a David Garrard Monday on 1010XL. Brought to you by WaterboyJacks.com.
All right, DG is in the house. Sportsmania at the beach. Somebody asked where you got the hat.
Yeah, baby. Nice list. Sportsmania Beach.
Right there.
3rd Street.
It does look a little velvety from here, but it is nice. Corduroy. I can see the little grooves.
Yeah, it's keeping me warm in the winter.
All right, there you go. So shout out to Sportsmania at the beach. All right, let's get back to the lines. If you want to react to what went down yesterday with the Jags, 32-25 losers to the New York Jets, that's kind of what Monday's all about. TJ on the south side, thanks for hanging on. What's up, TJ?
Good morning, fellas. I was just calling to say I think I was going to give the props to the offensive play caller because I think it was a kind of good game other than the fourth quarter a little bit after that BTJ touchdown. I think the offense was flowing. We was getting, like you said, getting points every quarter, which is outstanding to me. I can only imagine if Trevor was in this game. Like, if we get a game like that from Press Taylor every year, if he's here next year, I won't mind him being back next year. Only problem I got is with the defense. Like, we paid Tyson Campbell so much money for him to just get torched like that every game. Then the defensive line, every seeing Aaron Rodgers sitting there looking like a duck and running off. I just don't understand why we can't get pressure. I don't understand what's wrong on this defense. That's what I was calling to say, and thank you for taking my call.
All right, thank you, TJ. Look, the biggest issue with this team overall is inconsistency.
Yeah.
Defense was outstanding last week.
Amazing.
They're outstanding. And the first half,
yeah.
Right, so you're like, what?
Where is this?
Where does this come from? And then it was the complete opposite in the second half. And not to say that they haven't had plenty of breakdowns this year. They've been a bad defense overall. It was just, they just showed you last week, though, that they're capable of performing at a better level. Now, did they get help from Tennessee, who's not very good? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But Tennessee had 14 yesterday, which is better than 6.
Yeah.
They ended up with 27 points is what they scored. You held them to 6.
Yeah.
They were at home yesterday, just like they were last week. And I'm not saying that shows you're a good defense. I'm just saying that, one week to the next, we were praising them last week. Jarian Jones, by the way, everyone's, why is a linebacker covering Devontae Adams? Pretty sure that was Jarian Jones covering Devontae Adams. And then Devin Lloyd's running across the field in the opposite direction from Adams, Dave. You're not going to call a defense that is requiring that guy to stop, turn around, and go chase Devontae Adams.
No, you don't ever pass it off because you don't want him chasing him from the start. So you definitely don't want him to try to turn around and then go chase him as he's running full speed. That is something where he recognized, oh, shoot, my guy isn't in the position to stay with him, so let me try to go help him. Defensively, not getting enough pressure on Aaron Rodgers. That just, he sat back there long enough to where we should have had more pressure, at least moved him. There were times where when he tried to take off, we should have gotten him if we had guys that were attacking him a little bit more. That's going to kill you when you got Garrett Wilson out there and you got Devontae Adams running down the field. Like, it's hard for those guys to hold up their end when he's able to move around back there, find guys deep. Like, those deep shots are shots that you want to be able to get hits on your quarterback, make him move so that he doesn't have that time to throw in there and let it go smoothly. So, and then, like you're saying, the one where he's just wide open on the sideline there, it's unfortunate because they had such a great first half. I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure what happened with the Packers. What did they say? Hey, I'm sure it was, guys, we're right there if we can just make these plays, because they had some of those shots in the first half, but they just weren't making them, and then they started connecting in the second half.
What are we being told when we can look at the stats from yesterday's game and your leading tackler on defense is a corner in Tyson Campbell, and your linebackers combined in the game for 5 tackles?
That was crazy.
That is crazy. I don't know. I've never heard stats like that before. That's unbelievable. Really is. With a Lucan out there and those kind of guys, like,
he had 4 of the 5.
That oh my gosh.
Well, I'm guessing part of that is because when they ran the ball with running back, they ran it, 16 times with running backs, right? I'm guessing that for the most part, the defensive line was making the tackles on those stops, because like Foye wasn't making any kind of plays yesterday.
You didn't see him where he was shining like that. You saw him making some plays or being around the ball at times, but most of the times they were down the field. Those stats you just read are unbelievable, because that should never be. The corner.
Devin Lloyd had 1 assisted tackle yesterday. Ventrell Miller didn't have a tackle.
Yeah, I don't know how you even have that.
I don't either. Parker Washington had a tackle yesterday. After
he's playing in the wrong
interception.
position.
I understand that. But my point, going back to Jarian Jones, is we loved Jarian Jones last week, right? That guy's a dog. He's a building block. We're going to build around that guy, right? And we got a keeper there. And unless when Jeff comes in tomorrow after breaking down the All-22 and tells me that for some reason they had Devin Lloyd sprinting one direction and expect him to do a 180 and chase Devontae Adams, I think that was on Jarian Jones for releasing a guy he shouldn't have released. He was supposed to continue to cover him.
Yeah.
So, again, it goes to consistency. Is Jarian Jones capable of giving you a big performance? We saw it last week. Now, he's also a rookie. I'm not saying he has to be the best corner in the league week in, week out immediately, but it just, that's the thing. Are they capable of better? Well, he showed you he's capable of better last week.
And that was one play, because I did, and it was a big play, but I did see him quite a few times still making plays, and the announcers, since I was at home watching on TV, they were talking about him, quite a bit. So he, especially in the first half, all those guys were making plays. He made some plays in the second half, but didn't make enough. The defense didn't make enough. It was a complete 180 with our defense, and it shouldn't be that big a difference. Like, it's one thing you got Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson. They're going to make some plays, but you can't let them torch you like that in one half to just, seal the game, basically.
Jags right now are allowing the most yards overall of any team in the NFL, the most passing yards of any team in the NFL, the 9th most rushing yards of any team in the NFL, and the 6th most points of any team.
And we're pretty healthy on defense, right?
That's a great point, right? Because they have started to have some attrition start to add up on offense. No matter what you think about Gabe Davis, he was in a certain spot in the pecking order. You lose Kirk, you lose Davis, you lose Ingram, you lose Trevor. That's a lot of guys. You trade Cam Robinson. That was your choice. I understand
they played
that.
well yesterday. That side of the ball.
In relation to the defense, they certainly did.
Well.
They scored 25, but again,
But they have their issues, too.
They make big mistakes in big moments as well.
I mean, we get down, inside the red zone, inside the 10-yard line, and we come away with 3 points way too often. It's like we don't bully our way into the end zone. We made some nice plays, but there were so many other plays that we left on the field that we didn't make that really ultimately caused us, not to have the points we needed at the end.
All right, 641-1010. TJ, thanks for jumping on board. I just want to look at some snap counts from yesterday and just see exactly how much some of these guys played to get a better feel for just how unproductive some of these linebackers were. Devin Lloyd played 76% of the snaps. Ventrell only played 15 snaps in the game. A little bit more understandable for him. So he played 26%. Foye played 100% of the snaps yesterday. And that it was a surprisingly unproductive game from Foye. But, Foye is one of the guys that you're not going to be the best player every single week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or if you are, then you're looked at it.
But he's a tackling machine, though.
He is a tackling machine. And generally he does come through for you with a lot of tackles. But they also are playing him differently this year, decided to make him a weak side guy instead of a middle guy. When all he's done is lead the NFL in tackles, cumulatively for the last 7 years.
I don't know how, if certain people stick around, I don't know how the defensive coordinator can stick around. I don't know how he can be kept when everything is pointing that we got worse.
I agree. Here's the problem. If, let's say they keep Balky and Peterson, right, for another year. Well, are you going to extend him? Because I think Doug's got one more year in his deal. So you're going to have a lame duck head coach? What defensive coordinator that's got any kind of options is going to sign on to that situation?
You're going to have to get somebody young and hungry.
Well, there you go. And hope for the best.
And hope that they can be the difference.
And that's not necessarily going to be the case, right? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, if you're taking a shot on a guy who maybe doesn't have any other options, I'm just saying if you go down that scenario. To be clear, in case there's been any confusion, no matter how many times we repeat it, we clean house.
Yeah.
From top to bottom, the whole thing. But if they don't do that, I'm not just going to go throw my hands up in the air and go, all right, well, let's talk about something else for 2 hours every day. I mean, we're going to continue to try to figure out the moves that we feel like the Jags can make to put them in the best position to compete in 2025 and beyond. And that's just where we are. So do I think that would be with a new general manager? Yes, I do. But I don't get to make that call. And neither do any of you out there. You can express it, and you're welcome to. We've never let anybody not say anything about, firing this guy, that guy, the other. And you can have a sit-in or a holdout or a walkout or do anything you want as far as you want. I think that's all fair game. The only issue I have is when somebody goes beyond the line and says, if they don't do X, I'm no longer a fan. Well, if you're no longer a fan, I'm not really that concerned about it then. I'm concerned with what Jaguar fans want and what they think. And I know what a lot of you think, and but all it comes down to is what one guy who owns the team thinks.
Well, that was a great soliloquy there.
I don't know if it was.
But changing lanes here. If you guys, I know you guys have done a bunch of different stats and those kind of things where you do polls. What should we do? Who should we keep? Blah, blah, blah. And this may be something we can talk about a little bit later, but what player should we, in you guys' opinion, be targeting just looking at where we are now?
You mean in the draft?
Yeah. Just what position do you feel like we need to improve.
Yes.
Yeah. Non-quarterback.
All the above.
Yeah.
Defensive tackle.
Yeah.
Defensive end.
Yeah.
Corner. Wide receiver. Interior offensive line.
Now, what guy out there that's,
Look, I'd take Travis Hunter.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, I'm not a scout.
Yeah.
So I don't know how he projects versus some of the other guys necessarily, but I have my opinion. I take Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
But you may not have the chance to take Travis Hunter. Would I take an offensive lineman if I thought he is going to be a starter in his rookie year? Because I don't want to take a guy in the top 10 who's a developmental project.
No.
Which is why I kind of shy away from defensive end, because they're not going to walk in and find a starting spot, right? Would I take a defensive tackle if the right guy's there? Sure. They need it.
Yeah.
Right?
A Mason Graham, whoever that would happen to be. Yeah.
Right. Or a guard or any number of things. But look, I've got eyes. Travis Hunter's a spectacular playmaker. Right. But, he wins the Heisman on the strength of playing both ways. Is any team in the NFL going to let him play both ways to that degree? And are you going to be satisfied, especially if he comes here, knowing how they rotate players? You're not even going to get a full-time player on one side of the ball.
If he did come and he's an all-pro at both, which side would you want him to play?
If he truly was an all-pro at both, I'd want him to be a receiver.
Okay.
Because I think all-pro receivers impact the game more than all-pro corners
score
do.
points.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, but do I think he's more likely to be an all-pro corner? From what I understand, yes.
That's what I see.
Right. So, but, if I had a choice between an all-pro receiver and an all-pro corner,
just making the day a little bit more light and fun. Let's,
look,
Right.
But here's the problem. I think they're going to beat the Raiders, more than likely, because the Raiders are in the tank, like mentally.
They would have to put me back there at quarterback.
So if you beat the Raiders, maybe you fall back to 6 or 7, I don't know, in the draft order, and I don't have any control over that. And you can't expect Doug Peterson to bench all his starters to try to lose a football game.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. All right, we got to take a break. If you're on the line, stay there. We'll get you on the other side on the Garber Automo phone lines on a Reaction Monday. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. He may have started his career somewhere else, but he found his home in Duval.
Join me, Jeff Logman, for Check the Tape Tuesday on Jaguars Today.
Brought to you by Jack's Napa Auto Care Group.com. Go to the pros Napa know-how on 1010XL.
Do the Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle. It's the time of year all our customers love. At Garber Auto Mall, every 2024 must go. Take advantage of thousands in discounts on all new Chevy, Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Ford. Visit us in Green Cove Springs or at GarberAutomall.com. And remember, at Garber Auto Mall, there's always a little room for wiggle. Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
Come to Monahan Jewelers' 47th annual holiday sale now with up to 30% off GIA certified diamonds and up to 40% off our entire store. Certified diamonds, gemstones, engagement rings, diamond studs, designer brands. We're not a big box store. We're your local family jeweler with an amazing hand-picked inventory for every budget, and with interest-free financing, enjoy beautiful jewelry with a low monthly payment. Support your local family jeweler this Christmas with up to 40% off our entire inventory. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, open 7 days a week in December.
Hi, Jags fans. Walker Little here for my friends at Kingfish Pest Control. Playing offensive line in the NFL, I must block and protect on every down. When it comes to keeping my home pest-free, I expect that same level of protection. So I contacted Kingfish after seeing thousands of positive online customer reviews about their service. I can confirm from personal experience, bugs don't stand a chance getting past Kingfish Pest Control. Do what I did. Reach out to Kingfish Pest Control to protect your home, a proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jaguars Today.
It's a Dream Finders Homes Monday.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's contestant, a professional stamp licker from Jacksonville, Florida, meet Martin Celery.
Oh, gosh. I can't wait to play, Bob.
Well, let's move things along. Tell him what he's won, Johnny.
Wait,
That's right, Marty. At Bueller Air and Plumbing, we've stocked up on the remaining inventory of low-cost 2024 model air conditioners, so you win. We're passing the savings on to you.
Can I answer a question first?
We need to make room for the 25s, so we're offering great deals on AC replacements while supplies last.
Could I spin the wheel at least? I've been practicing for a year.
With last-minute deals like this, there's no question that you are cool.
What do I tell my kids?
There you go. Have a souvenir t-shirt.
Thanks.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
This is Corona Premier. It's the light beer you didn't know was a light beer. Until right. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Now, Corona Premier, an unexpectedly light beer.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com/Duval. That's WM.com/Duval and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's the Mangler.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
At what temperature is Fahrenheit equal to Celsius?
Southern Oak Insurance knows that you want to save money on your homeowner's insurance. So why not try some old-fashioned common sense? Ask your Southern Oak agent about our roof replacement schedule. It will save you money.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
At 40 degrees below zero, the temperature is the same in Fahrenheit and Celsius. Why? It takes too long to explain.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Have you tried golfing at the improved Cimarron Golf Club? If you haven't, tell you what, you're missing out on the best deal in Jacksonville. Now, many of you have received a postcard in the mail, and of course, if you bring that with you, $45 plus tax to play. That includes a cart, lunch, and a beer at the brand new Stone Barrel Tap House. Now, go to the website, that is CimarronGolfClub.com, and sign up for the Wild One Loyalty Program. That's the Wild One Loyalty Program, and get all of these specials emailed to you from Cimarron.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. Hurricanes happen in Florida. That's not news. But what happens even more often than hurricanes are home break-ins. And if security is important to you, you might want to look into hurricane-rated impact windows.
What you may not know is that hurricane-rated impact windows not only help protect your home in case of a hurricane, but they also offer another level of security for your home.
Have you seen those videos on YouTube that show people trying to break through an impact window? A thief is way too lazy to spend his energy trying to break through one of our impact windows. That's why he doesn't have a real job like you. He'd rather break your non-impact window while you're at work. Window World has high-quality, very affordable hurricane-rated impact windows to help protect your home from hurricanes and from lazy thieves.
Call us today at 904-443-7001. Get a free estimate and see for yourself. You save energy, get more security, and the windows add value to your home. With all Window World windows, you get the best guarantee in the window replacement business.
Window World,
simply the best for less.
And thank you for your business.
Give a unique gift this holiday season with a custom-made candle or body care product from Wick, a candle bar. Make your own product in the store with over 90 fragrances at Wick, a candle bar. Locations in San Marco and Jacks Beach.
Here's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, sponsored by Hurricane Grill and Wings. Florida will play in the Gasparilla Bowl on Friday, December 20th, facing Tulane. Gator head coach Billy Napier looks forward to the competition.
You know, we get another opportunity to compete again. We get to be together.
Florida men's basketball continues their winning streak on Saturday, defeating Arizona State. The head coach Todd Golden, the defensive effort was key.
Did a great job letting our defense lead us to transition. We were able to get in some spurts, getting some steals, getting some runouts, getting some dunks.
Our in-state pro teams in the NFL, the Buccaneers remain atop their division, defeating the Los Angeles Chargers with a strong performance from quarterback Baker Mayfield, who credited his offensive line.
Offensive line took over, and that was really the biggest difference there in the second half.
The Dolphins' playoff hopes got dimmer with the loss to Houston. That's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Sam Nelson.
At 11:01 at 68 degrees, time and 10, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler, Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's a David Garrard Monday on 1010XL. Brought to you by WaterboyJacks.com.
We got to execute the little plays like within the game and then down the stretch if you want to win those games. I mean, NFL, you never know which play is the winning play. And, I could talk about it every time it happens, but it's basically the same stuff.
That's Foye Oluokun yesterday. Doug Peterson echoed that in some of his post-game comments to Bucky Brooks on the Jags post-game show yesterday. I was a little surprised the way he put it, Tony. This game should be a wake-up call. That this is what I've been preaching about. Any play could be the play.
Mm-hmm.
But this game should be a wake-up call. Like,
I heard you say that yesterday.
Right? It's week 15, man.
Yeah.
We're, Did you think they were getting it before that, or what?
I'm not even sure what he means by this game should be a wake-up call.
I'm not either, really.
Yeah.
Like, we get it. Yeah, yes, blown coverages lead to big plays. Attention to detail leads to missed assignments, leads to big plays. But didn't start this week, right? I mean,
maybe this is the first week they had mistakes being made.
I'd like to imagine it'd be impossible for them to be as bad as they did on defense without making a lot of mistakes.
They had been playing pretty clean up till yesterday.
Well,
and then yesterday,
for the last three halves, they were maybe. Were they playing pretty clean against the Detroit Lions?
Most of the season, they've been playing pretty clean, and then yesterday,
the worst defense in the league.
Mike, they've been playing pretty clean during the season. Yesterday was the first time, and so it's a wake-up call now. I'm being a little facetious.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Because you were deadpanning me like nobody's business. I'm like, DG's mad at me now.
No.
And
no, not at all.
All right. Yeah. I got taken on that one for sure. I went along for the ride. All right. Regina in Mandarin is next up here on Jaguars Today. Good morning, Regina.
Good morning, guys. I'm one of those fans that's glad my husband didn't re-up our season's tickets because the cost-benefit ratio just isn't there anymore, but I still watch. The good is watching the young guys. You know, BTJ, Brenton Strange is a monster on the and even Parker Washington had a nice catch. Didn't Tyson Campbell strip a ball during one of the passes? But the ugly Eric Armstead needs to go find another team, especially when he liked the post, Al Shahir's post, if I'm putting the two together. Didn't he like his post about taking Trevor out?
He did. It wasn't about his post wasn't about taking Trevor out per se. He was saying that if you thought that was bad, where do you see how if you want to make me the villain, I'll fully embrace being the villain, basically, going forward, kind of thing. But
that's a whole nother story. He had a weapon on his elbow, and that's another thing. Shouldn't the Players Association say something about a weapon like that in a person playing? And the ugly are the lame excuses that Peterson has after every one of these losses. And I'll take your comments off the air. Have a good one.
All right,
Bye.
I appreciate it, Regina. Look, again, going to the not re-upping season tickets. I don't know what the threshold is to get Shad Khan's attention. And by the way, I'm not saying you should or should. I never have said this, which is why it's mystifying when people say I'm telling them how to be a fan. Like, I've never said you need to spend money on this team or that you shouldn't spend money on this team. I've never advocated for any kind of boycott. I've never advocated for, if you're not a good fan, if you're not a season ticket holder, there are all kinds of different ways to be a fan, and different people have different economic situations and all that. I don't know what we were talking about it yesterday before the pregame show. Like, it was around this time in 2002 when the Jags had one of those kind of lackluster performances in a half-empty stadium, and Wayne Weaver finally decided, you know what, I probably need to move on and change things because, we've lost the narrative here. I don't know. Nobody knows. Somebody does, but nobody that is reporting anything knows what Shad Khan's thinking about this. Shad Khan doesn't just go blabbing to the press or leaking things to the press. And I'm not saying he's never done it. I just, you don't get to know his inner thoughts very often until he announces those. And, so I don't know what would bring Regina back, because guess what? Let's say they change the GM, they change the head coach. There's no guarantee they're going to be better than what you got either. I'm not saying that's a good enough reason that you should be paralyzed by fear. Again, very clearly, we would make a lot of changes around these parts. Just going back to Travis Hunter here for a second.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I want to compare the seasons that won them the Heisman Trophy between he and Charles Woodson, who was the first, quote, two-way player, right, to win the Heisman Trophy. Charles Woodson, also a really good punt returner back in the day. Travis Hunter has 92 receptions with 14 touchdowns. That's the most in, what are we, FBS, FCS, the whatever.
Yes, that's correct.
FBS, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the most in both categories of any receiver in the country. 92
wow.
catches, 14 touchdowns. Charles Woodson, the great two-way player, when he played at Michigan, what were his numbers in those categories as a receiver in 97? Would you say?
I would
receptions
say
and touchdowns.
cut in half almost because they didn't throw the ball as much back then.
So cut in half would be 46 and 7.
Yeah.
Okay, Tony?
I remember looking at this several years ago for some reason. I can't remember why. My memory tells me it was somewhere in the mid-30s.
Mid-30s? Okay,
in
touchdowns.
receptions.
That's what I'd go, mid-30s.
And 5, 6.
He caught 11 passes and scored twice.
No.
Great two-way player, Charles Woodson. 11 passes and scored 2 touchdowns on offense. Now, he was a big-time returner, so he returned 33 punts that year, including a punt return touchdown. 8.6 average. Okay, not super spectacular, but fine. I mean, Charles Woodson's a great player. I'm just saying
but
how
he didn't
times
play,
have changed.
he didn't play on offense nearly as much as.
Not even close to what Travis Hunter has been
He was
doing.
exactly what we were just talking about, Travis, maybe being in the NFL. He might be a better corner than he is a wide receiver, so he would be a really good corner that we have some kind of package in on offense so that we can use him every now and then. That's basically what Woodson was when he was in Michigan, right? Like, he was used that way. Here's our gadget guy. A
like
couple
Deion.
of times, one time a game, we have a play that we want to have for this guy, designed for this guy on offense. If he comes to the NFL, I wouldn't be surprised at all if that's what he winds up being. He's a premier corner who we use every now and then to try to get a gadget play
Who
going.
might catch 11 to 15 passes for you over the course, like one a game, something like on average. Plenty of weeks where he doesn't factor in on offense, whatever like that. And so then you have to weigh, is he worth it if you look at him primarily as that plus a little extra on top of it? Or do you think, you know what, at one point, Dave, running quarterbacks can't play in the NFL. It's too much on them, right? They're going to take too many hits. Now, if you're not a running quarterback, you're behind the times,
you are,
right?
you're right?
So maybe Travis Hunter is a guy who could play 80% of the defensive snaps, and he could catch 35 balls for you. I don't know.
The only problem with it is you're opening yourself up to so many shots, so many chances of having an injury. And yes, if you just play 100% on defense, there's injuries that can happen there. It's just, I don't know. That would be a new world. So it's really hard to fathom it in a way that makes sense.
You know what the best way to use them is? Whatever works.
Yeah.
Because we can sit here and go, well, you better use them X on offense. And if it gets hurt, and that X, people who are saying, no, you should not have used them at all on offense are going to point to that. You can't win unless you win. That's what it comes down to. By the way, I don't have the full defensive numbers for Charles Woodson. His last year there where he won the Heisman, he had 7 interceptions, though, that season in 11 games. Travis Hunter has 4 in 12 games. So, but he does have 11 pass breakups, which, according to this, lead the country. So there's that. I mean, look, I'm not denying he's a great player.
Yeah.
And it's just, to me, it's more in feather in Travis Hunter's cap that he's been able to play so many snaps. He's just not featured on offense. He is
the offense.
The offensive one with Shedeur Sanders. I mean, that's what makes it happen for Colorado, and that's why he won the Heisman Trophy. And Ashton Genty not too happy about that situation. All right, if you want to get in, we would welcome your reaction here because that's what we do on Mondays. We'll go through some of the social media stuff that we've been getting in this morning. 32-25, Jags fall to the Jets. Tony will take us around the rest of the NFL as well. Take advantage of David Garrard Well, he's here for the next couple of segments as well on a Reaction Monday on Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
For the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios at 1010XL. Learn the ins and outs and ups and downs of the man under center.
Don't just watch the position, learn the position.
Friday mornings on The Drill. Denny Thompson is
the quarterback whisperer.
Brought to you by Tyson Sound and Security and George Moore Chevrolet on 1010XL.
AA Automotive helps keep your car in dependable travel condition. Stop in today. They'll check the brakes, tires, fluids, electric, and AC to get you right back to your holiday plans. AA Automotive on Richard Street. Full service auto repair you can count on.
Hey folks, Dave Binion with Zero Res. I asked my wife what she wants for Christmas, and she said the same thing she does every year. She wants a clean home full of family and friends. That means the carpets, the tile and grout, the large oriental rug in our family room, and the huge sectional sofa that everyone loves to hang out on all need a good Zero Res cleaning. Give Zero Res a call and get your carpets cleaned for only $49 a room, and get your tile and grout cleaned for 25% off. Zero Res spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
It's a sale so big, Santa wants to get in on it.
It's Beard's Diamond's incredible 44th anniversary sale, held over until Christmas Eve. Everything store-wide is on sale, up to 44% off.
Beard's Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center or beardsdiamonds.com.
Dreamfinders Homes, Monday.
On Jaguars Today.
Jingle bells, septic's gone astray. Oh, don't let your holiday stink in the worst kind of way. Call Duck Rooter and we'll save your sleigh and your day.
904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Hey, this is Bert Cannon with the First Coast YMCA. Youth sports at the Y can help nurture your future athlete's potential and experience the joy of being a kid. At the Y, we're providing a safe, clean, and fun environment with basketball, soccer, volleyball, gymnastics, elite skills training, and more. Best of all, participation in Legacy Youth Sports League is free with your family membership. Visit fcymca.org to learn all about youth sports at the Y.
The 1010XL Restaurant of the Day is Barley and Pie Brewing Company in Fleming Island. Enjoy Monday Night Football with $4 clay lights and the new Nashville Hot Chicken Sandwich at Barley and Pie in Fleming Island.
Spend lunchtime with the ladies.
A meal and sparkling conversation.
Helmets and heels.
Mia O'Brien, Lauren Brooks, and Taylor Dahl.
Just behave, okay?
Switched on by First Coast Lighting and Fans on 1010XL.
Jacksonville contractors and business owners, do you need custom large metal fab gates or automatic gate controls? Frank Frangie here. Coyle & Sons has been in business in Jacksonville since 1927. They've earned the reputation of quality and specialized skill. Coyle & Sons are the ones trusted in Jacksonville by the top contractors, and they stand on their reputation when you need almost 100 years of commercial contractor experience. So call Coyle & Sons today at 904-356-4821, CoyleJacks.com.
My name's Jim. I'm 53 years old. There should be options in life, like ways to lose weight. Medications now feel like the only option. I mean, it sounds like a guarantee. I do have friends who have lost weight with them. I tried holding off. I did other diets, but I was miserable. I'd rather be fat and happy. The problem was I wasn't happy fat. I was about to start the meds, but then I heard of Awaken 180's GLP-1 program. Turned out it does the same thing as the meds without injecting myself for life. It absolutely worked. I dropped 45 pounds. I'm now in maintenance, and I feel better than my friends who are still on the meds. Listen, I barely know what GLP-1 is. What I do know is Awaken 180 worked for me, and I was far from miserable doing it.
Thanks, Jim. You all know our success with Awaken 180, and now with Awaken 180's GLP-1 balance, you address the root causes of weight issues. Do it naturally, then keep it off. Awaken180weightloss.com.
A quality replacement window made with Fibrex material, which is 2 times stronger than vinyl, delivered through a stress-free process. Welcome to Renewal by Anderson. Get the peace of mind knowing Renewal by Anderson handles everything from start to finish. With one call, you'll enjoy working with the best people, exclusive products, and superior process. It's the people, it's the process, it's the product. For a limited time, buy one, get one 40% off all windows and doors, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. Renewal by Anderson. A better way to a better window. Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613.
Truck drivers. Without them, our economy would stop. They're constantly racing against time. struggling against exhaustion, and being put under enormous pressure from their bosses, the big trucking companies. This can be a major reason for an accident. Discovering who's at fault can be difficult. We can help. Put our big truck experience to work for you. Call Farah and Farah, Jacksonville.
Make a resolution this new year to send all of your friends or family a Kuhn Flowers floral arrangement. RJ Saunders here with 1010XL, and okay, how about sending just one person you love a floral arrangement? Kuhn Flowers can handle it.
Hi, folks. I'm Frank Frangie for Ricketts Electric. Now, any good lineup needs power. When I needed a power connection for our new Walk-Off Charities baseball park, I found the perfect partner in Ricketts Electric. You're going to love these guys, I'm telling you. The Ricketts family has been providing commercial and residential electric service for years. So call my buddy Zach Ricketts today at 904-320-5960, and you can find them on Facebook as well. You will trust them. That's Ricketts Electric, the city's best power connection. Call them today at 320-5960.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Not just Monday, Deep in Garage Monday on 1010XL. Brought to you by WaterboyJacks.com.
All right, so again, you know, the irony of all this, a lot of people think in terms of Travis Hunter, and who knows, again, I know there's a lot of clamoring for Travis Hunter out there. Who knows if the Jags will be in position. I think the thing that'll upset the most Jag fans is if they are in position and they opt to go some other direction, which they may do.
If they do the math in their head, like we were just talking about, Dave, where, you know, he's putting twice the wear and tear on his body that through college to this point, it's like we don't know how long he's going to be great. We think he's great now, but it may only be 5 or 6 years where we're getting that level of guy. Like it.
Then again, let's not outsmart ourselves. We can get a great guy for 5 years.
I'm not saying that's the math I would do with him.
Right. Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if there are NFL teams that say, no, thank you, you know, on a guy who's playing both sides all the time.
Yeah. I think he's young enough to where it's okay at this point. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with
you. You don't come into the NFL and then also try to double down on it.
NFL guys are nervous, man, and it's not hard to get them nervous.
Well, very true. But if you can get a guy for 5 or 6 years that's a shutdown corner or a touchdown maker, you'll take him, you know, because that's what you're trying to do. If you can get that first contract and he's amazing, then you'll take that guy.
Yeah.
So, you know, Hunter, I think most people, I say most, from what I've gathered, the majority of the draft nicks out there think if he's going to focus on one side, it's going to be as corner in the NFL, right? Which is a high-value position. There's no question about it. But, you know, he's a Blitnikoff Award guy, but he doesn't get nominated for the Thorpe Award, which is kind of nuts. But which matters nothing, right? I mean, you know, plenty of guys have been snubbed for awards that you're like.
But he's a star, though, so I know a lot of teams like that. You know, we're going to sell jerseys.
This team needs edge.
That's what I'm saying. They need a guy that everybody recognizes because, you know, BTJ is great, but he's a quiet guy. And I don't know if Travis Hunter is like this big, you know, personality, but he's still a star. Like, he is coming in where everybody knows who he is. They're wearing his Heisman shirt in the NBA and other NFL games, you know?
Do the Jags make it hard enough on guys? You know, you know what? But by that, I mean, like, okay, I understand you want great facilities. You're trying to attract free agents. You want to give your guys the best. And that, you know, it's not just we have a pretty building here. You know, it's like you're trying to be cutting edge in terms of preventative medicine and different things like that. But when it comes to, like, the Miller Electric Center, it's such a nice, you know, breezy, kind of comfortable place to go to work. Does that have a negative impact on guys? You know, like,
I know
it's
what
not
you're
gritty enough.
No, that's most places. Most places now are putting in new facilities and all the bells and whistles. And in college, that's exactly what they have in college. If you're a high-end college, you definitely better have those kind of facilities. So guys are expecting to have that kind of stuff. I remember when I first got into the NFL and they would tell me if you play for Tampa, like, you got to do your meeting rooms in trailers. And I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, the cafeteria is in a trailer. Your quarterback room is a trailer. They are like very low budget as far as their facilities. And I was like, well, I hope I never have to go there. Like, but the main thing is, are you a winning program? Like, that is a big thing. Now, it's not, you can't decide when you're getting drafted, if you want to go there. You can try to make enough noise or stink that you don't want to go somewhere like Eli Manning did, but you just want to go somewhere where you feel like you got a great chance of winning, great group of guys, great head coach. The owner, you're not really thinking about him nearly as much unless he's an owner that doesn't pay when you start to make those plays and that kind of stuff. But those are the things that guys are looking for. If you're getting drafted, you don't care. You're just excited to go wherever they're going to make you, the man. But when you're a free agent, like, you want to go somewhere where you feel like you're going to go win and have a chance to get to the playoffs and championships and all that kind of stuff. So if anything is hurting us, it's just we're not winning. And maybe somebody's thinking, I can go there and help change it.
Yeah.
But, usually it's money will make me get there.
Right. And then you're like, that guy. And we all sit there and go, oh, this guy just took the bag and now he's on easy street. Well, that's part of it. And I don't know how difficult or easy it is, because I've never been in that kind of position, to try to stare into a guy's makeup, and what he's got on the inside. And certain guys like Max Crosby now going to shut it down for the year, which tells you something, because Max Crosby is like a defensive end who almost never comes off the field, right? And where every defensive end is rotated, this guy is almost an exception to that to a large degree. There are other players. There are plenty of players like that, right? That just have that I'll do, and I'll,
whatever it takes, I don't care.
Glass.
Yeah.
How tough is that in your experience to know who's really going to be that way when they get paid?
It seems like it's a really hard thing, because there's so many guys that you miss on more than that hit, So, yes, guys do feel like they're on easy street. Sometimes it's the situation they're in. Usually when you're getting paid somewhere, it's a bad team that's trying to bring you in to, help make things better. So to me, I think a lot of the culture in the facility also is a big thing too. So are you coming here? You're maybe the fat cat now, but is everybody still, forcing you to play at a high level, because they're all playing at high levels? It doesn't matter if you get there and, you're the man now, you got paid and everything, but you're, playing like dilly poop. We want somebody that's here that's going to, work their tails off. So if we got to, sit you down for a little bit and bring, the backup in, or whoever it is that's going to give us a little bit more dog out of them, then that's what we need, but the money is always going to need to play, because that's what the owners and the GMs, they're all thinking of. You can't make me look bad by not playing my guy. That's where the politics
That's where you got to have a coach who's got enough cachet to have the autonomy to go, now that you can sign anybody you want, but now that they're mine, they're mine.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And by the way, Max Crosby played in 12 games this year. 9 of them, he played every snap on defense.
Yeah.
That's mad.
Isn't that crazy?
No one does that, and not as a pass rusher.
Yeah.
No.
To never come off the field as a pass rusher,
unbelievable,
play after play after play, and he plays hard, man.
Yeah.
Which is one of the reasons I think the Jags are likely to win this week. Max Crosby won't be suiting up. All right, let's go around the rest of the NFL.
Now, Gems Around the NFL. Brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacks Beach.
One to keep an eye on, Kansas City quarterback Patrick Mahomes, considered week to week after an ankle injury knocked him out of the Chiefs' win yesterday. Cleveland running back Nick Chubb suffered a broken foot on Sunday. Detroit corner Carlton Davis, a broken jaw. Defensive tackle Aleem McNeil, a torn ACL. Obviously, McNeil going to be out for the season. They are saying Davis may be able to return if they get into a deep run in the playoffs, so we'll see on that. And Pittsburgh linebacker TJ Watt suffered a low ankle injury. He said that they will have to wait and see about his availability there for the Steelers in Week 16.
TJ Watt, by the way, is probably the next closest guy to not coming off the field, has not played 100% of the snaps. Now, he's in the 90s a lot, right, for Pittsburgh. We're talking about the elite of the elite of the elite. Right here, I looked at Myles Garrett. He's like a 75 to 80% snap player. That's kind of more the norm. With rare.
What about our two guys?
Well, I'll tell you here in a second. But I think they're both in that, probably in that 70-ish range. Let's see here. Defensive end Trayvon Walker is 76% this week, high of 88%. But generally, he's about 75 to 80 is kind of where he is. 77, 78, 76, 81. Josh Hines-Allen, maybe a few more.
Yeah. I'm looking at it for the season. Trayvon Walker, 75.7%. Josh Hines-Allen, 73.7%. So they're both mid-70s.
Yeah. Trayvon.
I'd like to see them high 80s, mid 80s, somewhere there.
I hear you. Look, I don't.
I'm not trying to beat them down now. Like now is not the time that I want to see them out there 90% of the time, because it's like I don't want them to be beat up going into the offseason.
Right.
But early on, when we keep seeing guys rotate in and out like crazy, I mean, it's frustrating.
There was a point early in the second half yesterday, I remember on the broadcast, I think Jeff and Tony were pointing out that Hines-Allen and Trayvon were both on the sideline. And
to start a drive.
Right. Right. And
so they already were sitting.
You're already sitting.
Yeah.
You had halftime. You had that break. And it's like.
That was the situation I was talking about, where there were 3 like 12 to 15-yard plays in a row. And it was to start a drive defensively. They didn't have Hines-Allen or Walker on the field. And I'm watching. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, there's no logic to that happening in that moment. And then they put the guys back on the field and they actually got pressure on the next play. Like, it was just madness at times, the way that they've handled that all season long.
All right, let's take our final time out here. Let's come back and look at some of the reaction we got on social media to the Jags' latest loss, their 11th of the season, this time 35 to 20. What am I at? 32-25. Yes, I just confused myself. I can't read. 32 to 25 to the New York Jets. Like, wait a minute. They didn't score 28 yesterday. Okay, I knew it was a 7-point loss. I just lost my mind. We'll do that on the other side. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. You want to get your day started off right, no matter what happened on the weekend, right? You got to eat breakfast. Breakfast is an important meal, maybe the most important of the day. Well, nothing says you have to eat it in the morning. Breakfast is good all day long. And with Dandy, it's available all day long. Swing into an area gate station and head to the Fresh Case and maybe try some of their soft, flaky croissants or French toast or light, tasty maple waffles, sizzling country sausage, peppered fried eggs, creamy Wisconsin cheddar cheese, all the different various combos you can imagine that they put together. Dandy's got that for you. That's just part of their menu. Dandy, the Anytime Deli labels are going to have your back. Probably over 30 different options at an area gate station, whether it's breakfast, quick stuff on the go, full line of sandwiches and subs. They've got something for everybody there. Always fresh, made with the highest quality ingredients, locally sourced as often as possible. Great variety and great prices. When you're hungry in Duval, do what I do. Go out and make yours a Dandy, and do it today.
Jaguars
Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
Want to be up close and personal with the Jaguars as they take the field? Here's your chance to be in the shadows, outside the Jaguars locker room, now called the Vault. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows. One winner and a guest for every home game at Everbank Stadium. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry periods for the Shadow Sweepstakes promotion from 8/19/24 to 12/15/24. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsored administrator, Everbank NA, member FDIC.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Have you heard? Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet are aiming to sell 1,000 vehicles this December. How? I've told my team to take all reasonable offers. We won't lose your business over price. With thousands of cars, trucks, and SUVs on the ground, all priced to sell, we guarantee the most money for your trade and the easiest car buying experience ever. I promise we ain't leaving nothing on the table. This is the absolute last weekend. Visit Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville. We're here to wow you.
Has your email been hacked? Are you sure? Most breaches go unnoticed until it's too late. Don't risk your business. DoubleCheck Cybersecurity can protect you before disaster strikes. Visit doublecheck.com for your no-cost risk assessment today.
Jaguars Today Monday is built by Dream Finders Homes.
Official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jaguars.
This is Tony Baselli, Pro Football Hall of Famer. I was known for protecting our quarterback. These days, I'm extending that protection to a different arena, your home. I have partnered with Heritage Roofing of North Florida, your premier local roofers with over 25 years of experience. Heritage is your go-to roofer for hurricane preparation with same-day inspections and estimates. They also work with all insurance companies. Let Heritage Roofing of North Florida safeguard your home and family. Visit heritagenfl.com for your free estimate today.
State license CCC 1335410.
When pests invade your space, you don't just need them out, you need them out fast. And you need to keep them out. At Terminix, we show up for you and eliminate pests quicker because we care about what matters most to you. When pests show up, so do we. Don't live with a pest problem. Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com. TERMINIX.com. Terminix it.
Clean air, cool air, both are extremely important. Trust Florida Home AC to deliver on both with their Remy Halo, the next generation of air quality technology. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC and breathe clean and cool air.
Ride the hurricane wave as the storm brews in South Beach.
Keeping you closer to the U with news and notes from the orange and green on the Hurricane Report on 1010XL.
Brought to you by Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
This is Hayes Carline for Skylife Elite. Are you tired of canceled flights, unruly passengers, and layovers? Call my friends at Skylife Elite. Consider using private charter flights for your next adventure. Yes, you can afford it. Make your own schedule. Fly direct. Drive your car to Craig Airport and get directly on the plane. Skylife Elite can make that happen. Call 490-9332, go to flyskylife.com, and find them on social media. Fly Skylife Elite, North Florida's premier private air charter.
This season, check out our revamped website at southernsteerbutcher.com. Click on the Promotions tab, and our Jacksonville weekly grilling specials will hit you in the face like a hot route over the middle.
For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just the job, but an experienced, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
It's the Jaguars' final home game of the 2024 regular season, and you don't want to miss it. Join us Sunday, December 29th for our fan appreciation game when the Jaguars take on the Tennessee Titans.
It's going to go over on downs, and the Jags are going to win the ball game.
To lock in your seats for this divisional matchup, head to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you there, Jags fans.
Holidays are here, and if you're in need of extra cash, Beaches Jewelry and Pawn can help. Gold is at record highs. It's a great time to sell. Bring in your gold for an estimate today. Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacks Beach. Online at beachesjewelryandpawn.com.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Jaguars tight end Brenton Strange flashed the ability on Sunday that made him a second-round draft pick in 2023. Strange had a career-best performance on Sunday against the Jets with 11 catches for 73 yards. The second-year tight end out of Penn State was asked in the postgame locker room what made him so effective against the Jets.
I mean, I think the opportunities just came my way. Here we say don't chase plays. Plays came my way, so I made the plays. And I pride myself on being a reliable player for this team, and that's what I do.
Brenton Strange, courtesy of Jaguars.com. With your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update, I'm Andrew Gibson.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 87.
All right, let's get to today's 10-10 take. Dylan Denmark.
10-10 Take.
Now, Mike Dempsey's 10-10 Take. Brought to you by
Double checked. Cybersecurity made simple.
All right, we'll get to some of your reactions here in a second. I think, honestly, for a lot of Jaguar fans, there are some that are frustrated because they just don't want to see them play poorly, and I totally understand that. I'm not rooting for them to play poorly. I made up my mind. I was going to root for them to win and see where the chips fall, but they were competitive yesterday, put up a decent amount of points without some of their key players on offense. They were miserable on defense, but again, the inconsistency has been there all year, but the end result is they jumped up 3 or 4 spots in the draft, depending on how you look at it, where they'd be right now or where they'd be projected in terms of strength of schedule. That being said, got some really bad teams on the horizon that they're quite capable. The Colts now are eliminated from the playoffs. I believe, are they eliminated? Yeah, they are, because they got swept by Houston. They're now 3 games behind them. So the Colts not going to make the playoffs. Don't know what their motivation is going to be. You already beaten the Titans once. The Raiders. I don't know who would win if the Raiders and the Giants played right now. 3-3, nothing. I'm not sure.
You give me a spread for the Raiders game next week?
Have they released it yet?
Yes.
Jags by 2.5.
Raiders -1.
Really?
So really,
Wow.
Who's their quarterback?
Well, we'll see. Aiden O'Connell.
They played at night.
He got hurt.
Presumably, he's questionable to play tonight. Could be Desmond Ridder. So that's where they're at. Or it could be Gus Bradley's son, who apparently was activated. Seriously. I didn't even know he was in the league. JP said this yesterday. Gus Bradley's son is on the Raiders. And, yeah.
I don't know. I heard a stat from somebody that might be playing soon, Boyle.
Tim Boyle
had 13 interceptions and 1 touchdown, and somehow he's
the guy when they benched Daniel Jones, right? They moved him to 4th string with the Giants, and they had him playing like scout team safety. That's when he asked for his release, right?
Yep.
So they elevated, then they jumped Tommy DeVito over Drew Lock into the starter job. Then DeVito got hurt, so they put Lock in. Then Lock got hurt, so they went back to DeVito. Then DeVito got hurt in the game, and so they went to Tim Boyle.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's where they're at right now. Carter Bradley is the 3rd string quarterback of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Toledo and South Alabama. I know I saw him play a couple games when he was at Providence here in town.
Yeah, I thought he was still in high school.
Yeah.
Apparently not.
Time doesn't stop for everyone.
I guess not.
The way it does in our head. He's 24 years old. That would be quite a story.
If he was still in high school.
Gosh, born in 2000, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how you become 24 years old, right? 2024.
If you do the math.
If you do the math, it works out like that, surprisingly. So I don't know who's going to be playing quarterback for them and how motivated that team's going to be. But then again, could you see a scenario like, I'm wondering when the Jags are arriving in Vegas, right? Hey, make sure you get to bed early.
Better not see anybody out.
Like, we've never seen that happen before, right? So who knows, man? Hope you get what you want. Hope you get entertainment at the very least. And look, what I hope you get is a chance for change at the end of the season. And if you don't, and they decide to run it back with all or part of the current power structure here, I hope they make good decisions. I'm not going to root for them to fail. I'm just not. I want them to succeed. And we were happy when Balky and Peterson were here when they were winning the division title and winning the playoff game 2 years ago. So, yeah. Could they get back to that? I don't think this division is so daunting that they couldn't.
No.
But, you got to find a way to
with the team we had going into the season, there's no way we didn't feel like we should be able to win this division or at least be up there competing with Houston on it.
Be in the mix.
Yeah. Like, even still.
I'm with you. But we are where we're at.
Houston's not a strong enough team that everyone in the division should be going, how can we catch them, right?
No.
Like, they're not strong enough this year that it should be that situation, but it is.
But it is.
All right, here's some of the reaction we got today on social media. What is your reaction to the Jags' 32-25 loss to the Jets? Cristiano, at least we have BTJ. Amen to that. Scott, competitive game. Mac Jones, despite all he did, not good. Linebacker covering Devontae Adams, ? Again, Probably
Linebackers
wasn't.
are asked to
Yeah,
cover
probably
guys,
wasn't. But probably wasn't his.
It wasn't his job.
Or his assignment on that play is our guest. Joe just said on to next week. Chris, I wanted our young players to shine and keep it a one-possession game. Sunday's outcome was perfect, in my opinion. And I'm not faulting you for having that attitude. I know, I heard Fred Taylor, he said it yesterday. I heard him this morning on the drills, I don't want to hear about this talk of tanking. I'm not saying the players should feel this way. They should go out there and play to the best of your ability, right? But the repeated mental mistakes make me believe that the coaching is not getting through to these guys. Now, I know you have to have personal responsibility, and Tom McManus is big on that he puts a lot on the players, that how many times do I need to tell you the same thing? You go out there and you don't do it. Is that on coaching, right? Well, I don't know. I don't know the answer. Some of it probably is. Some of it's probably on the players. Do you need some new players? Probably so. Could you use some fresh perspectives? Coaching in the front office? Absolutely, in my opinion. Let's see. Paul, I don't know whether to be impressed or depressed that Davante Adams had no catches for no yards in the first half, then ended the game going 9 for 198 and 2 touchdowns. Also, BTJ is going to be a star for us, so that's a nice positive. All right. Terrence, we have a wide receiver 1 locked in. And finally, the coaching staff realizes it and is getting the ball like a wide receiver 1 warrants. Issue with that is, why are we doing it now? Why weren't we always doing this?
I mean, how long have we been screaming, just feed them?
Oh,
and the way you do it is how they started the game. That's the easiest way to do it. Just throw the ball down there, give him little wide receiver, little tunnel screens and all that kind of stuff, so the man can get the feel of the ball in his hands. And then as the defense starts to come down a little bit, now he just runs right by him or runs across the field. So many ways to get the ball into a receiver's hands.
They're starting to realize that.
Yeah.
A little too late, but they are at least starting to realize that. And at least for him.
At least they're recognizing it now.
BTJ probably end up with about 1,200 yards this year when it's all said and done, right?
He's going to be the best of the rookie wide receivers.
Statistically, right. I mean,
him and Neighbors are going to be the 2 guys.
Well, he had the 2 touchdowns yesterday, which I think puts him ahead of Marvin Harrison, who had 7 coming in. BTJ, I think, had 6. Neighbors scored yesterday. That was his first touchdown since week 3.
Yeah. Wow.
So, I mean, look, and we don't have this great quarterback situation. Certainly not now. We don't.
Yeah.
Just goes to show you. You force a guy the ball, and he's good enough. Sometimes that works. Bush Drive Rich, happy we're sticking to forcing it to Flying Thomas Jr. Can you imagine where we would be if we had that plan since the first throwback game? Team is still in denial about Lloyd, and Darby struggles in pass coverage, and it's costing us first downs and TDs. Again, I'm not saying that Lloyd has really ever been good in coverage, but if you're alluding to the Davante Adams 71-yard touchdown, that's probably a Jarian Jones. Again, we'll get into the tape breakdown of that tomorrow. Let's see, Mason, it was nice to see how competitive the game was. Even though we lost, it was at least entertaining. BTJ shined in this one, but we need a lot of help defensively. That's very matter of fact, and I think it was accurate. It was entertaining.
Yeah.
Here's what I didn't get, and again, you can do what you want, but you paid your money. You're already there. Right? You sat through the bad weather portion early. Now that the sun's come out, you have the lead. And with 4 or 5 minutes to go, I just see people pouring out the turnstiles. And I guess you want to beat traffic. That's your prerogative, right? But you've come all the way for this. You've had so few wins.
Yeah.
And you're in position to maybe get one. I don't know. Let's see. Matt. Exactly what I was hoping for, a competitive loss. I don't root for a loss during the game, and if we would have won, I would have been happy, but glad the Jets did ultimately do what the Jets did, which is take themselves out of a better draft position with nothing to play for. So I think a lot of people agree with Matt's standpoint. In fact, a lot of people would take it even further and probably go that I would not have been happy if they had won that game. I want the entertainment value. Sam, we played a hell of a game. It was really competitive. We almost had it at the end, but hey, I loved it. Again, you don't have to feel the way Sam does. I'm just reading them in the order that they came in here. A lot of people are happy with the effort that they've given. And, I feel like that's the bare minimum you should expect.
By the way, looking at the rookie receiving numbers this year, Brock Bowers is going to jump back up to the top of that list after tonight.
Among
the rookies.
All pass catchers.
Yeah, because Brian Thomas Jr. right now is leading all rookies with 956 yards. Brock Bowers is second with 933. Like I said, he's probably going to pass Brian Thomas Jr. tonight. Malik Neighbors third with 901. Ladd McConkey fourth with 873. Marvin Harrison Jr. with 687. Rome Odunze with 585.
Wow.
Right? And that's not the order people would have put it in going into the season because that's obviously not the order they were drafted in. Right? Like Brian Thomas Jr. went fourth among those guys. He's not playing like the fourth best of those guys at this point in the season. And that the quarterback has not affected his production is the bigger thing. Do I think he would have been more productive if Trevor Lawrence had been healthy all year? Yeah, probably. Right? Like, I think there would be more shots downfield with Trevor playing as opposed to Mac Jones. And what they get as far as deep passing game with Trevor not being available to him, I think there would have been a little bit more. But Brian Thomas Jr.'s effectiveness has not been affected by that.
But you could also say, hey, if we traded Brian Thomas Jr. for Rome Odunze, what kind of numbers would he be putting up when you got DJ Moore and Keenan Allen healthy all season long as well, right? So, again, I'm very happy with the guy that the Jags ended up with. And the fact that they, there was a lot of clamoring for let's trade up and get Rome, right? Let's get Odunze, right? And had they done that, who knows? Maybe he'd be putting up the same numbers and we'd be like, wow, look at that. Yeah. But instead, they got 3 extra picks and got a guy who's out producing all the
trade
rookie
for
wide
Ayuk, got to
receivers.
do X, Y, Z, and then they wind up trading back in the first round of the draft and still get Brian Thomas Jr.
Right, trade your first rounder for Ayuk and pay him $30 million and not have the extra picks.
We talked about it with that.
Have an
DK,
older guy.
Like we talked about so many guys that were just kind of pseudo available as to come in and be the number one wide receiver. Well, they chose Brian Thomas Jr. and it appears short term they've made the right decision. That BTJ is going to be that guy for him for a while here.
Man, look how many years we've been waiting to get a rookie wide receiver that is a stud. That everybody else around the league is now looking at our team and our guys saying, oh, they got them one. And we finally got us one.
Yeah.
Finally.
Need more.
We definitely need more.
Yeah, if the right guy.
But we finally got one, though.
We do. But look, Dave, if the right guy were there, depending on where the Jags draft, let's say they fall a few more spots, Travis Hunter's gone, or they don't fall. They're picking fourth, and Travis Hunter's still gone, or whatever the combination. If the right receiver's there, would you be opposed to it? Like if you had like another projected number one type guy, and you could have those two guys on the outside?
No, absolutely, because that's the way the league is now. The more weapons you can have catching the ball, the better your chances are. Now, you got to be upright when you can get the guys the ball, so that's the thing. But I thought offensive line did a pretty doggone decent job yesterday with the guys they had out there, even with Walker going out and then coming back and all that kind of stuff happening. I thought they did a pretty good job. So, but yes, the more weapons you can have to get the ball into their hands and guys that can catch it 5 yards down the field but can turn up and score, that's what you need on your team. That is how the league is now.
That's one of the things they need. They need a lot.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the problem. You can't fix it all with that first pick. No. You can't fix it all with draft picks. You probably can't fix it all in one off season. But can you fix enough to make you competitive for this division again next year? And then, you get to the postseason, and I'm not saying it's perfect that you're going to be the favorite to win it all, but I think if you told people right now they go 10-7 next year and win the AFC South, and then whatever happens in the postseason, there'd be a line to sign up for that.
Got to give yourself a chance to even get there. So, yes, people would take the chance to make the playoffs as opposed to talking about drafts in October.
All right, you out next week, right? Or are you not?
No, I'm here before Christmas.
Excellent. All right.
It's before New Year's.
That one, the old before New Year's thing. The balls are dropping.
Yep.
And Dave's corks are popping.
Hey, I like it.
Hey, how about that? All right. Well, we will see you next Monday.
Yes.
Appreciate you. Maybe we'll get to wear our T-shirts one more time this year. We'll find out.
I'd be okay
if we do. We'll make a lot of people happy for Christmas and give away a bunch of Victory Monday shirts if that is the case. Tomorrow we'll check the tape with Jeff Lageman. So for David Garrard, Tony Smith, Dylan Denmark, I'm Mike Dempsey. Thank you for listening to Jaguars Today. Helmets and Heels coming up next on 1010XL.